that I can give you more value and give you more hints on how to grow your business as we go along. So today's topic is what's keeping you stuck, 8 obstacles to growth and how to overcome them. All right, sorry for the technical difficulties, people. Okay, so I've already said welcome. Thank you for joining me today. If you're watching me on the replay, I'm glad you're here. Always happy to make contact with you, whether live or not in live. So here we go. And I have 2 free gifts for you if you stay with me today. So at the end of the presentation, I'm going to be telling you what those free gifts are, but they're worth sticking around for. So don't go anywhere. So as I said, the topic itself is what's keeping you stuck, 8 obstacles to growth and how to overcome them. We all get stuck at some point or another in our business lives, and usually we don't know why. So this is for you if you're growing your business but feel that some things are getting in your way and you might not even know what they are, but you're just feeling kind of stuck. You need to help identify your business demons, right? Well, I'm going to give you 8 common obstacles to growth, but you might really clue in to 1 or 2 of those. So this is going to help you identify your own business demons. And you get it, what's been working up to now in your business. And if you've been in business for a year or so, something's working, you're doing a good job. But at a certain point, what's gotten you this far isn't going to get you through to the next stage of growth. And this is where an awful lot of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs get stuck, and why I'm focusing on this particular transition point, which I think is really critical that you do some thinking around. So some of you may know me, a lot of you here may know me, a lot of you who signed up for the webinar might know me. If you don't, let me just give you an idea of who I am so you know why I am doing the presenting here. So I'm a go-to business coach for female entrepreneurs. I was delighted to see a couple of men sign up for the webinar, so happy to talk to men as well, but typically most of my clients are women. So that's why I say that I'm the female coach for ambitious entrepreneurs. I have been running successful businesses for over 20 years. I've spent 10 years of helping women to clarify their vision and their map of growth strategy and achieve their goals. But I've been working with entrepreneurs for over 20 years. I myself have been a serial entrepreneur. This is my 4th business now. It seems to be my happy spot as being an entrepreneur. But I tell you that to tell you that there have been 4 businesses that I've started and grown to very successful levels. I also was the West Coast director for Constant Contact. And in doing that, in both California and Hawaii and Nevada, I talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs in the course of the time that I was there. And I really got a chance to understand what their problems were, what the pain points were, what the difficulties and challenges are in growing a business as an entrepreneur. Not to mention my own 4 businesses where I've been through all of these obstacles I'm going to tell you about today. I've been up, down, and sideways in business. And so I just want to share the benefit of having gone through the highs and the lows. It does make a difference. So just want to let you know that I'm speaking from the heart. I've been through this myself and just wanted to help you save some time. So I'm passionate about helping other women find their path. I mean, at this point in my career, I really want to give back. And my focus is about building community, which is why I'm so glad that you're here with me, whether, as I say, in the replay or live today. And I just want to make sure that you know that this is about community. I really want to be continually in conversation with you, engaging with you, helping with you get to the next stage of your business. So that's who I am. This is my fabulous family, and this is my why. A lot of people talk about the fact that their family is their why, but the reason I bring this up is if you are stuck in your business, if you are frustrated, if you are feeling pressure, if you are stressed, you know who's going to feel it the most? your family. And so, or the people that you come home to, the people that you surround yourself with. This is why it isn't just you and your business that would do well to resolve these issues. Everybody around you is at the effect of your stress levels. So start grappling with this stuff now and make sure that you are happy in your personal life as well as you are as in your business life. So why are we here today? What am I talking about here today? Most of what I'm talking about today is stuff that happens between your ears, right? This is you learning how to get out of your own way. Most of these obstacles are mindset issues that can keep you extremely stuck. So I want to help you learn how to get out of your own way. I'm going to give you solutions for grappling with the hard stuff. This stuff isn't easy, and it can keep us stuck for very long periods of time. So I just want to give you some ability to identify these issues, come to terms with these issues, and find some resolutions. One of the things that I say in all of either my courses or working one-on-one with clients or in my masterminds, you have to make a decision in your business. This is a primary mindset decision that you're going to be successful. And any obstacle that you come up against is a barrier to be overcome, not a wall that's going to stop you. That's a big difference, right? So everything is figure-outable. Everything can have a solution if you have the right attitude around it. So barriers, not walls, is something that you want to keep on the back of your mind. Oops. One moment, please. Let me go back. Okay, let me do a quick stopping share so I can just see if there have been any comments. No comments. I'm hoping that you can hear me, so I'll just keep going. Share. Where was I? Here's where I was. Okay. All right. So let me just go forward now. Okay, so here are the 8 common obstacles. Who am I to? I'm late to the party. Everyone else is starting a podcast. Shouldn't I? The only one who can do this is me. I'm exhausted. My to-do list is killing me. I don't have any money. And I know where I want to go, but I have no idea how to get there. This, in the many years that I've worked with women entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs all over, these are the 8 most common obstacles I hear, and that's why I wanted to talk about them today. So let's start with the one that I think is topmost, and this comes up all the time. And this comes up as soon as you have stepped outside of your comfort zone, whether you're a newbie to business, whether you have been in business for 5 or 10 years, this comes up for you at some point and multiple points. So this is called imposter syndrome. If you haven't heard this word before, I love it. I mean, I don't love imposter syndrome, but I love the phrase. This is when you feel like a fraud, right? Who am I to be giving this webinar? Who am I to be starting this course? Who am I to be presenting in front of this group of people? Who am I to have started a retail store, right? There's that deep-seated lack of self-confidence where you really feel like you have no business doing whatever it is that you've started to do. And that's called imposter syndrome. I can tell you honestly that imposter syndrome rears its ugly head at every stage of business. As I said, anytime you step outside of your comfort zone, where you're now in a spot where you have no idea what you're doing, or you've never done it before, this is when imposter syndrome kicks in. You feel you need more courses, more training, more certifications. Gee, if I had just one more degree, if I had one more course that I'd taken to give me some credibility, this is when you start feeling insecure about your business. And a need to establish credibility to the outside world. So, and this is all, again, this is all a lack of self-confidence in your ability to take that next step. And again, that's called imposter syndrome. So let's talk about how to work through it. Let me just say one thing. In all of these 8 obstacles, I'm going to give you a mindset shift that has to happen around them. And then I'm going to give you some tactics for how to get out to move through it. So you can not only acknowledge it, but have some tactics for how to move through it. So let's talk about how to break through imposter syndrome. One of the things I've learned about imposter syndrome is as I've reached out beyond my comfort zone many, many times in my business, even in the last year, is that imposter syndrome never goes away, but I've learned to make it a very, very small voice in the back of my head. So it no longer stops me because I've learned the tools for how to deal with it. It never completely goes away. So it's a matter of managing that voice to a level where you can deal with it. So here's the mindset shift. You are enough. I know you've heard that a lot, but if you come from the position of just deciding, I don't need more degrees, I don't need to be doing anything else, I am enough, then imposter syndrome gets very, very quiet because you are enough. You don't have to be someone else or do something else or create more credibility. You are enough. So some of the tactics around this, and you get better at these as you go along, is identify what's shaking your confidence. You know, and it's going to be individual to all of us. What is rattling my cage? What's shaking my confidence that I can actually acknowledge and then do away with or make as small as possible? What jobs or clients or life experiences have you had that added up to true expertise? So this is where I ask a lot of my clients to actually start a journal or a board or a Pinterest board or just a piece of paper, a file in your laptop where you start logging in areas where you feel confident and places where you've seen a success and places where you can celebrate. It can be little, it can be, yesterday I met someone at a networking event and they actually called me back, to gigantic. I just scored, a big new client, and that's worth, $50,000, big to little. And so you want to make sure that you're logging these successes in so that when you do come up against imposter syndrome, you can go back and take a look at all of the things that you have done. And it reinforces your self-confidence. This seems silly, but boy, it works. And as I say, as imposter syndrome goes, as your business goes on, you'll always encounter imposter syndrome, but now you have some tools to deal with it. It's never going to go away. That's my experience anyway. It doesn't go away. Here we go. All right, the next one. I'm too late for the party. It's all been done before. This is an interesting one. It has all been done before. It's unlikely, it's very rare in business that a concept will be brand new and never thought of before, right? Maybe you're Steve Jobs and you've just invented the Apple. But for most of us, what we're doing has not only been done before, but is being done by lots and lots and lots of other people. And this is a reason to feel like you're never going to succeed, or there are too many people out there doing the same thing, or where are you possibly going to fit in to this whole glutted marketplace? But I'll tell you this, and I say this really strongly, you will always have competition, but you're always going to have your own spin on what you're doing. And I also know that, again, as I work with more and more clients, this is where we start. As my son says, you be you. You do you. And your personality and your spin on things is going to differentiate you from the other people who are doing exactly what you are doing in the marketplace. And people tend to work with people that they respond to. And so not everyone's going to respond to me. I totally understand that. I might be too old. They might not like the blue in my hair. Who knows what? But people respond to people, and those are the people they want to work with. So even though you feel like you're in a glutted field, you be you. You do what you do well, and by all means, let your personality come through. So don't feel you have to be the one and only. You're going to be you no matter what. So the mindset shift, again, to keep with the protocol I'm setting up here, the mindset shift is you are new under the sun. You are you. There's no one else like you. And the tactics, the solution here is stop comparing yourself to other people. And I'm going to say that a lot during the webinar. This is nothing but an energy suck. If you are comparing yourself to other people, it just robs you of your ability to go forward with momentum. So stop comparing yourself to other people. That's the tactic around that one. Okay, third one, and this is for all my very creative people out there. Everyone else is starting a podcast. Why shouldn't I? Shouldn't I be too? So this is called bright shiny object syndrome. Most of the people out there who are very creative find that they have tons and tons of ideas going all the time. And they're very excited by other people's exciting ideas. And so they're very easily distracted by your own ideas, by new ideas, by what other people are doing. You know, I say podcast because this is, you know, as of a couple of years ago, everyone started a podcast, and it's now even more glutted than ever before. So if everyone's doing it, so shouldn't you be starting it too? Take a breath, take a step back. The best thing to do here, again, here's the mindset shift. I'll get that right at one of these points. If you're still in business after a year or two, as I said, you're doing just fine. And you are enough. More is not better. Doing more, bigger, better, more, different, is not the thing that's going to get you farther. It's not the thing that's going to help you grow. However, I realize that if you're creative, you have hundreds of ideas. And so the best thing that you can do for yourself is to create a thoughtful, just right for you 12-week strategy. I like to think at quarters at a time because I can get my arms around a quarter, right? 3 months is about the length of time that I can really start to get tactical around what I'm going to accomplish and make sure that I get there. So what I want you to do then is when you're starting to get distracted, or if you find you are distracted and you're an easily distracted person in general, take the time to put together a 12-week strategy for your business. Stick to it. Earmark the projects you're going to initiate and get done in that 12-week period, and make sure that you have fleshed it out, that you have it in your business plans, even if that's just a quickie piece of paper that you've written thing on. But get specific in your own mind about what you're going to accomplish in this next 3 months, and stick to it, refer back to it, make sure that you're on plan on a weekly or a monthly basis. Stick with that plan that you've set up. Now, for you extremely easily distractible, very creative people, when you do come up with new ideas, don't discount them. You might want to start a list of those new ideas to consider for the next 12-week period, the next quarter. And so by the time you've had a chance to percolate on this for a little bit, you'll find that of the 20 ideas you came up with, there might be 2 or 3 that are worth pursuing, and the others were just kind of, random thoughts that aren't worth pursuing. So start mapping out the next 12-week period very strategically, knowing that you're building on the 12-week plan that you had before. So don't let yourself just get distracted. I have a couple of clients right now who are very, very creative people, and I envy that because I'm very analytical and I'm not that creative. I don't get distracted that easily. But they come up with an idea a minute. And most of our time spent together has some component of, let's stay focused, let's make sure that we're working on the tactics that go along with this objective. It's helping them stay focused. So this is what I want to recommend if this is keeping you stuck, right? If you've got so many ideas and you just can't make any of them happen. So that's the next one. I didn't number these, so I don't know what number we're on. So here's the next one. The only one who can do this is me, me, me. You know that feeling where, so let me step back. You built this business by yourself, I'm sure. If you're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur in the first year or two of your business, you built it yourself and you know every inch of it. Understood. You did everything yourself. You know what needs to get done. You can do it faster than anybody else could and more accurately than anyone else could. But if most of the tactical work is being done by you or closely supervised by you, you are severely hampering your own growth. Let me say that again. You can't be the worker bee. You cannot do everything yourself. It just is a recipe for disaster. You will never grow. So this is exactly the fear of delegation, or the inability to delegate. It's one of those things that has to be gotten over. At some point, you'll need to let go and train others to fill for the majority of your other functions, so that you can act as the true CEO. And you say, CEO, I've only got a small business. You need to act as the leader of your growing business. And you need to let go, slowly maybe at first, of having to do it all. So here's a mindset shift. Two things that come up. Perfection paralysis comes up a lot, where things have to be so perfect that nothing gets done. Afraid of letting go, control issues, right? You're afraid of letting go. You don't know how to become a leader rather than a doer. So those are the mindset, and there are a lot more of them, but these are the mindset issues that typically keep someone in that the only one who can do it is me. So here's some tactics that you can do to get over this one. So what does it look like? Does being a CEO, the leader of your business, it means building a it means building CEO time into your schedule. It means that you need to step away from the doing of your business to the strategy around your business. So one of the things I advocate for everyone I work with is allocate a time during the week. It might be an hour, it might be an afternoon, it might be a whole day on Friday, where you step away from the doing, literally step away from the doing, and you take over creating that 12-week plan, refining that 12-week plan, thinking about what you're going to do to grow, where you're going to find more clients, how are you going to be able to onboard people. You're the strategy here. You are the leader, you're not the doer. This takes discipline, where you're stepping back and allowing yourself to be the leader such that you aren't the doer. So that's what I would suggest. Okay, someone just joined. Hi, glad to have you, Chantel. Yeah, you're here. Glad to have you with me. I hear someone jumping into the chat, so let me just see what that is. Let me stop my share for just a second again. And you are here. I'm so glad you're here, Chantel. Thank you so much for being here. So good to see you. So let me jump back into the presentation. And if you have any issues or questions, put them in the chat and I will answer them, because I'm hopping in and out of my slides. It makes it more fun for me and you. So I'm sharing. Here I am. Camera. Share. Okay, so we talked about that obstacle, which is having to delegate. Being afraid to delegate, sorry. All right, here's the next one, all you tired entrepreneurs. I am exhausted. So this is an obstacle that is insurmountable. It feels insurmountable. Most of us who are running our own business are working hard, and long hours, and or more than 5 days a week, and you can get absolutely fried. Owning a business is not easy, right? I've done 4 of them. I know exactly what that feels like. We all know this, and especially in times of transition, and you might be in transition if you joined me on this webinar, you're running on all cylinders frequently. You work more than a normal work week. You're not paying attention to anything but your rapidly growing business, or putting out fires, typically is the case. You will burn out, and your family and business will suffer. I want to take you back to that first slide where I said my family is going to feel my own stress. And so you want to make sure that you get over this I'm perpetually exhausted obstacle. So here's the mindset shift that has to happen. And this sounds easy, but it's not. You have to give yourself permission to take care of yourself, right? That no one's going to give you that permission but yourself. You have to give yourself permission to do what you need to do so that you're not exhausted, whether you're getting more sleep, or you're getting away from your computer, or you're taking a walk every day, or you're getting yourself spa treatments, or whatever it takes so that you are not exhausted. You are the one who has to give yourself permission to do that. So that's the mindset shift that has to happen. And then tactics. Define for yourself your weekly or daily self-care practice, and put it on your calendar to make it happen. Whether it's a daily walk, or daily yoga, or a weekly, as I said, visit with girlfriends outside of your office. Make sure you do and you have defined for yourself what you're going to do on a daily or weekly basis so that you allow yourself to get refreshed and you're not exhausted. There seems to be some badge of honor that solopreneurs in particular, but entrepreneurs in general, have around just being fried. And I'm here to tell you that's no badge of honor. That's just poor business management. So do those things to get over it. Okay, another obstacle. My to-do list is killing me. Every single entrepreneur that I work with tells me that they are time-starved. And I know that's true. I know that's true for you guys sitting out there because it's true for everybody. Most of us have forgotten the KISS principle. Keep it simple, sweetie. In the rush to build your business, frequently we get more and more complex. And we think that, again, more is better. The more we do, the better it's going to be. So the more courses you create, the more packages you have, more. And this is not the way I suggest building a business. My suggestion about how to build a business is come up with that, that 12-week strategy, but also come up with some core pieces of business that you're going to use to drive revenue, whether you're a coach and you're doing a one-to-one coaching, or you're you're running a store, you have focus on what you're selling, whether you are, I'm offering both courses and a mastermind and one-to-one coaching. These are the three things that I'm doing and will continue to do. I am not looking for more than that. I'm going to make my revenue and I'm going to make growth happen out of those three things. So you want to make sure that you're not expanding what you're doing to make you think that you're growing more. It's going to make you distracted. So here's the mindset shift that has to happen here. We get used to chaos. We get used to, when someone runs into you in the street and they say, how are you? Typically we say busy, right? And again, there's this sort of badge of honor of being busy. So we get used to chaos. We get used to being busy. Make this level of stress unacceptable. Again, that's your decision. Make it unacceptable. It's a problem to be solved. This level of my to-do list is killing me. And one of the things I'm going to offer you at the end is a document that tells you how to deal with that to-do list called the 4 Ds. But it's going to give you some tactics on how to get away from this. Oh my God, I have too much to do. So here's the tactics that go with this obstacle. If you find that your own to-dos are getting out of hand, stop and reevaluate. Are you doing more than you initially planned to do in that 12-week strategy? Do you have the right or enough staff to support you? Are they getting the job done? Do you know what they should be doing and what your expectations are? Consider sourcing some of your tasks. One of the things that I'm going to tell you about what I'm going to send you again is that 4 Ds, which is called, I can't remember the title of it, but anyway, the 4 Ds that I'm going to refer to are do, delegate, defer, and delete. That's how you get on top of the to-do list. That's what I'm going to send you in the giveaway or the freebie at the end of the presentation. So again, the mindset shift is you have to stop becoming accustomed. You have to stop being accustomed to chaos. It does nothing for you. So another obstacle which comes up, and this comes up a lot. I don't have the money. I don't have any money. I don't have enough money, or I don't have any money. So let me take a step back. And most of the women I work with, most of the solopreneurs and entrepreneurs that I work with are using this as an excuse or to cover another issue that's really keeping them stuck, right? It's if you dig deeper beyond the I don't have any money theme, there are other things at play. There's a lack of self-confidence. There is a lack of clarity about their audience. There's a lack of clarity about their offer. There's a not having packages or programs to offer. There's something underneath the I don't have enough money. So before you start jumping on this as the reason why you're not growing, take a look. And if you'd like help, I'd be happy to help you with that. But take a look at what is underneath that fear. That said, If you need cash, if you need money to grow your business, there's plenty of money out there. First of all, start with free. I mean, there's so many resources out there for free, for heaven's sakes. Explore those first. Friends and family, ask for loans. Credit cards, but be careful there. The SBA is a great source of money. Credit unions are an opportunity. Small business-friendly banks can loan you money. Here's another one that really is perceived as a kiss of death. Go get a job. You know, if you get a part-time job or start contracting, go back to a full-time job where you build out your business. There seems to be this stigma around having been an entrepreneur and going back to corporate or back to work. Let me tell you that the whole name of the game is to live a happy life. And if you're devoted to building a business, as I have been 4 times over, there are a lot of ways to skin the cat. A part-time job is a great way to get the bills paid while you build out your business. Doing a side gig as a contractor might be the best way to do what you're doing. So don't let not having money, and don't let yourself get so desperate that you can't possibly move forward. So these are all kinds of ways to get money if you feel you need it. So those are the tactics. But I want to say the mindset issue might be, you might want to look further as to whether or not you really do need money. So that's that one, that obstacle. The next obstacle, which is huge, I think, is you know where you want to get with your business, but you don't know how to get there. You have an idea of where you want to go with your business, but you can't seem to consistently make progress, right? It's all an idea and or plans and or multiple plans, and you just can't seem to make consistent progress towards getting you there. That's a big one. And you're spinning. I love that phrase. My mother used that phrase a lot, and or that was her phrase for what this is, which is you're doing a lot of stuff, a lot of activity, but you aren't getting anywhere. How many times have you sat down at your computer and looked up and it was 3 hours later and you can't remember, you don't feel like you got anything done? That's spinning. So if you're spinning, I want to help you get out of that, because that's going nowhere. You need to get out of your own head. One of the things that happens if we are a solopreneur and left to our own devices, or an entrepreneur that doesn't have enough of a tribe around them, is you are spinning. You're within your own head too much. So this is when growth and transition is the hardest, is when you're operating only within your own head. The processes and procedures and structures you carefully put in place for that first stage of your business probably just aren't working any longer. This is the time to look outside of yourself for hands to hold, so for support, for direction, and new ideas. So you can't possibly know everything, right? I am the first one to admit that I am learning all the time. There's more that I don't know than I do know. You need outside feedback. You need outside inspiration. You need outside information to be able to get forward with what you're doing, move forward with what you're doing. So this is the time to join a mastermind or a group coaching program. This is where you want to seek out a tribe of like-minded people that you can surround yourself with. Make a point of getting out of your own head so you have other inspiration to help you. My advice, and this has been my experience, is that if I seek out something that's paid, or I have skin in the game, I'm going to get a whole lot farther. So whether that's a BNI group or another group where you're having to pay in to participate with other people that you develop as a tribe, because you have skin in the game, because you have accountability there, you're going to get farther than if you're left to your own devices. Be sure you're a bit outside of your comfort zone so that you have to stretch to participate. You don't want to be sitting around with other entrepreneurs who are exactly where you are. I mean, that's fine. But if you find some people who are a little beyond you, ahead of you, then you can find that you're going to stretch as well. Find a business coach, even for a short period of time, 3 months to 6 months, so they can help you get over where you're stuck in these obstacles. To help you see beyond your own walls. Again, I can't say this enough. As brilliant as we are, and as self-motivated as we are, there's a point at which that's just not enough. You need outside influence, and I would encourage you strongly to find a tribe that's going to help you get beyond your own head. So let me just recap the 8 obstacles. Who am I to? I'm late to the party. Everyone else is starting a podcast. The only one who can do it is me. I'm exhausted. My to-do list is killing me. I don't have any money. I know where I want to go, but not how to get there. So those are the 8 that I find keep people stuck in their business. So take a look at those 8 and create a plan to overcome your obstacles. And so I've got some homework for you today. And this is, again, I'm going to give you in the handouts that I'm going to give you afterwards, the handouts. I'm going to send you these documents. There's a mindset worksheet, which is going to help you identify for yourself, of these 8 obstacles, which is the one, and start with one, that is keeping you stuckest, right? And let's work together on a plan and put some thought into this worksheet for where you can get beyond your own obstacle here. Put some thought into it. Pick tactics. What are the 3 things that you're going to do to get beyond that obstacle? So that I'm going to send to you as soon as we get off the webinar. Oh, I skipped. Come back. So what brought you here today? So are you facing obstacles you feel are insurmountable? And remember at the beginning I talked about barriers, not walls. Barriers being, you can get over barriers, walls stop you. Are you facing obstacles that you feel are insurmountable? Are you in a constant state of worry about your business? Please, please, let's get you beyond that. That does nothing for you or your family. Are you just frozen, right? I've been there too, where I just sat in front of my computer and I just didn't know what to do next. Do you know how to put one foot in front of the other and move on? So that might be your biggest obstacle, is you just are frozen. You don't know where to go. So if any of these is the case, I want to invite you to join a mastermind that I've formed, that I'm starting in September. It'll be September through December. I didn't say this earlier, but the whole concept of masterminding, let me define it for you. Come back, notes. So let's work together to free up more of your time, generate higher levels of profit and income, and bring an infusion of fresh ideas into your business. That's what's critical, is fresh ideas. So I've started a mastermind, and I'm doing this. A mastermind, in case you don't know, is a group of people who come together consistently, and ours will be once a week on Zoom, where we can work on our businesses together and achieve goals. So the reason I'm doing this is twofold. One is that I really believe in community, right? That whole idea of being a solo entrepreneur or having not enough of a tribe is a killer. And I'm all about creating community. It's what's made the biggest difference in my life, in my business life. Secondly, I've been involved with 3 or 4 masterminds, which each of them has been about 10 times the cost of what this mastermind is going to be. I cannot believe how much growth in my business I experienced as a result of each one of those masterminds. It's an exponential process, right? You think you're just showing up for a weekly call, and what you find is that you are connecting with like entrepreneurs. They're helping you brainstorm ideas. They're helping you get out of your own head. And you find that with the accountability to your other sisters in this group, you get further in your business. So I just want to invite you to join the Solo to CEO Accelerator Mastermind, which is starting in September. So here's how it works. We meet on Zoom every week for an hour. We also have a Facebook group dedicated to us, to our mastermind group, so you can continue the conversation. In addition to the hour that we spend on the phone together, you have an additional group to be interacting with each other. So we meet for an hour every week. We talk about our wins. We talk about our goals for the next week. We talk about whether or not you achieved the goal from last week. And then we do some masterminding. Some group problem solving around what is keeping you from achieving those goals. We also have a spotlight, which sounds horrific, but it's not. This is when each one of you would be assigned your spotlight date, and we're going to focus all of our masterminding brilliance to help you solve a problem in your business. But things that are important to think about here: you show up every week. You are going to make a commitment to achieving goals. Your fellow masterminders are going to hold you accountable to it. And then you're going to tell us whether or not you achieve those goals. So we're going to help you move the game forward. So you just can't be, you know, existing in your own little head. You are going to make progress. So that's how it works. The investment is $350 for one time, $350 for the whole program. If you need an installment plan, I ask for $128 once a month for 3 months. As I said earlier, this is 1/10 of the price of the masterminds I participated in the future and in the past. As in, I've been involved with 3 or 4 of them. They've all been, you know, 3,000, 4,000 or more. The importance of this is that you start finding hands to hold. The importance of this is that you start making a commitment to yourself. And this is what putting money on the table is all about. You're making a commitment to yourself to actually go through the process of being accountable to other people and achieving your goals. So that's where I want to invite you to join me to a mastermind. So if you're interested, and I only have 3 spots left. This is 8 people in a group, 8 women in a group. I've got 5 who are already in there. So I only have 3 more spots. If you're interested, there's the link where you can go find out more about the program. And you have to apply. So you'll click apply, and it takes you to a questionnaire. And I'm going to ask you to fill out a questionnaire so I can learn more about you. And then you and I will have a conversation to see if this is a good fit for you and for me. So that's the link on top. I have to have the applications by September 1st, so if I can get them processed and make a decision by September 4th, which is the starting date. If you need to chat first about this and you need more information, give me a holler. This is on the bottom, the Tager call is the link to get to my scheduling calendar, and you can just pick a time and we can talk for a half an hour or whatever to clear up any questions that you have. So I'm going to leave that up for just a little bit of a second, and I'm going to, let me stop my share right now and see if anybody has any questions. I don't see any questions. Anybody want to jump into chat? Okay, great. No questions. If you do have questions, just shoot me an email or schedule a time to talk to me. And thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. Take care.